Hey everyone, the Astro Room here. Welcome back. The sun is setting as we speak. It's getting dark. The sun is low on the horizon. And I'm waiting for nightfall. It's just about to get dark. And I'm planning to image something that I've never actually done before. I can't believe I haven't done it. I'm planning to do a very ancient galaxy. Now, I know they're all ancient, but this one is very beautiful. This one is very unique. And it's the Sombrero galaxy. And I'm looking forward to doing it because not only will it be my first time, believe it or not, but I also want to see how well it's going to come out despite the very light polluted skies that I live in. So stay tuned. I'm going to go back inside. You're going to meet me back inside while I start imaging, and let's see how this is going to turn out. I can't wait to show it to all of you, and I hope you also get the chance to do this same beautiful, unique galaxy, the Sombrero. Let's go. Okay, so I'm back inside the house now, and I am ready to start imaging this galaxy. It's finally nightfall, and here we go. So I'm already on my sky atlas, and I've got it pointed to this galaxy, the M104, also known as the beautiful Sombrero galaxy. And let me show you guys. I went into the search and I typed in Sombrero on there. So there it is. As you see, it comes out right away, and I press center. I'm not going to press center right now because it's already there. Okay, I don't want it to try to re-center the image or anything like that. We've already got it on there, and as you can see, it's actually right there, right? There's some other galaxies in there, so that's going to be fun to try and grab. Let's see how this goes. M104, Messier Object 104, and I'm going to click on Stargazing. Okay, so very cool. There we have it. Okay, we've got M104. It's on preview mode. I already have my anti-dew on. I have my light pollution blocker. As I've mentioned, it's already on. Now, I'm not talking about the filter right here, not this light pollution filter, right? We don't need that when we're imaging galaxies. But I have an accessory on the lens, which is a dew shield / light pollution blocker. And what I like to do before I even try imaging, I'm excited that I'm getting some other objects right here too on the top, but I always do the autofocus feature. So let's let it do its autofocus. Something that I also recommend while we wait for this to autofocus is make sure that, at least for me personally, this is what I like to do to save time. I like to, in the settings, go to a feature in your advanced settings that says skip calibration enhancing or skip calibration imaging. I will go into it in about a minute after this is done to show you guys what I mean by that. And I know many people leave it on. I don't see that it makes a difference. So I honestly don't like to use it because it wastes a long time for me to try to get the images that I want. So I definitely recommend to skip calibration. Unless for whatever reason your Seestar can't find the object that it's trying to look for, then I recommend using it. But you really shouldn't have any issues with pointing to an object and letting the lens slew to it. You know, as long as you've leveled your Seestar, you've leveled it, there's really no trick to that. It's very easy. Get the two green circles to coincide, right? At least 0.2, 0.3. You should be fine. It should find whatever object you're trying to grab. Let's go ahead and start imaging now, preparing for image enhancing. I'll show you guys in a minute. The autofocus is done. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about with regards to the calibration, that you can skip that. So like I was saying, it takes a long time for it to do the calibration. I hope that feature gets better. you know, or there's a firmware update in the future that will make that feature move a little bit faster. I just feel like at this time it takes so long, and you know, I just want to get to imaging. I already have to wait a little bit for the focusing, the autofocus feature, and then the image enhancing, and then on top of that, I have to wait for, you know, the calibration or the image enhancing, and it's just, I don't know. I feel like that's actually the spot or the phase or the point that takes the longest. So I just avoid it. I don't think it makes a difference. Okay, so here we go. Now it's going to start stacking M104. I can't wait to see how this is going to look, guys, because like I've said many times, I live in very light polluted skies. So for all of you that are in Bortle 4, Bortle 5, which is half of the light pollution that I have, I'm sure this is going to look absolutely amazing. So while we let that start stacking images in the background, let me get out of here and let me show you what I meant about the advanced settings. Okay, I clicked on the little Seestar, and under advanced features, you see my anti-do is already on. Okay. Under advanced feature, skip horizontal calibration. Okay. So I usually have that on, and I have it on because I want it to actually skip the horizontal calibration. Okay. So I triggered this to be on in order to actually skip that. Okay. For me, I just think it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't make a difference. So yeah, I know if you read this little fine print that's there, it actually says we do not recommend skipping it. But me personally, I skip it. Let me know in the comments if you've gotten this far to this stream, which we're not very far yet, or into this video. Let me know if you use that or not. Does it matter to you? You know, have you noticed it saves a lot of time when you actually turn on the skipping feature? Yeah, so let me know. I remember, guys, when I first got the Seestar, I remember feeling very overwhelmed. And I've used telescopes before, just not really a smart telescope, but I remember feeling overwhelmed about calibration, level sensor calibration, and things like that. And for some weird reason, I used to use it constantly, those settings. And to be honest, I think it's because I had not yet learned the learning curve of just easily going to objects, choosing an object, slewing to it, transferring from sky atlas to stargazing. I don't know why that was a bit of a challenge for me. So I completely understand for some of you who haven't had the Seestar very long, or, you know, are just brand new to it. You know, there's all these little, I guess, what seems like obstacles that you have to kind of overcome, but it's really not a big deal. I remember just being frustrated. There you go. It's stacking images in the background. We've got a stack failed there. So anyway, I just wanted to say, try not to stress too much about that. Learn how to just find your different objects in the night sky, you know, how to go to each one, how to go from your sky atlas to stargazing, how to know when you should open up your stargazing and things like that. Perhaps I should do a different video explaining, you know, that process of just being patient and going from each object to another, which really doesn't take a long time. You know, these smart telescopes are absolutely amazing. The technology is incredible, really. And I can't wait for them to improve and get better and better. But, you know, with what we have now, it's absolutely wonderful. So let's go back and check on our galaxy. Okay. So I'm going to go into my stargazing, see how this is going to look. I think it's pretty neat how the Seestar app lets you go to different menus on your app, and it doesn't mess up your image enhancing and your, you know, your stacking of images while you're looking at other stuff. I think that's actually really cool, because I remember being worried and wondering if I exit this and go into this other mode or other tab. Oh, we have it. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, because I'm looking at it, oh, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Because I'm looking at it straight on my tablet, it looks nice and big for me, even better than I believe what you're seeing it on screen. That was quick, guys. Oh man, we've got a lot of stack fails here. Okay, so, but it's going. We're at 3 minutes. I'm gonna zoom in. We're at almost 3 minutes of stacking. This is, I can't even imagine. If you live in Bortle, anything less than Bortle 8, okay? If you live in nice, dark skies, Bortle 4, Bortle 5, Bortle 3, near a national park or anything like that, or out in the country, let me know in the comments, how does this galaxy come out for you? Because if I think this is, I'm gonna zoom in. If only you could see exactly what I'm seeing on my tablet, because I know for sure that what you're seeing on the screen right now through YouTube, for whatever reason, it's not as gorgeous. I kind of wish I had another camera that could zoom in to what I'm looking at. But let me manually zoom in with the Seestar. Is this absolutely incredible? I love this. Oh man, this is just the beauty of it, you know? And there's something that I want to say, guys. Let's let this keep. Oh, it's stacking for sure. So it's at almost 4 minutes now. This is absolutely beautiful, and I'm gonna stay zoomed in. You know what? I'm gonna play with some settings. There's so much that I want to say. Stay with me, guys. Let me lower this. And is my light all the way up? It is. Let me play with these Oh, that's a little bit too bright. I love these I love these settings. Okay, so guys, I want to backtrack a little bit with what I said earlier. I thought these were going to be galaxies. As you can see, I had not imaged Sombrero M104 before. So I thought that this was going to be, for whatever reason, some other galaxies, but it looks like instead they are stars, which is okay. It's beautiful still. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so let's keep going. I'm going to finish adjusting. Let me zoom in. Let me play around a little bit more with this, with the contrast. Oh, too much. I don't like that. How does it look? Is it too much or is that okay? Wow. I think that there's just like a massive black hole, right? That's what is theorized. That is millions, if I'm not mistaken, times the mass of the sun, like hundreds of millions, from the little bit of research that I've done already on the Sombrero galaxy. Let me go back to that and stay with me. There's some things that I want to share with you guys. This is just absolutely incredible. Maybe I should zoom in more. Guys, with my extremely light polluted skies, nothing gets better than this, right? Nothing gets better than electronically assisted astrophotography. The grab and go process, the setup, it's so quick. And before I keep going, everyone, I want you to know that I am in no way sponsored by the Seestar to bring you guys this stuff. I am in no way partnered with them, at least not at this time. It would be great if I was, but you know, everything that you're seeing on this channel up until right now, what I have is a little bit over 1,000 subscribers now. Thank you everyone for subscribing. What that really does is that it pumps me up and it encourages me. The more subscribers I get, the more likes that I get, the more it pumps me up to continue bringing you guys this content, because, you know, I know I'm not alone and you're not alone. We're all in this together. And the Astro Room, thankfully, we've built this beautiful community of space enthused viewers like you, space enthused. I would like to honestly call all of you astronomers, because that's really what we are, right? That's really what we are. We're all astronomers, whether we're amateurs or professionals, right? And this is just incredible. Look at that. Look at that nova. My mind is all over the place right now. There's so many things that I want to talk about. But look at this. This is just incredible. I almost feel like I should also do a live stream of this just for fun and you know, yeah, this is really cool. I'm absolutely blown away by this. But yeah, so thank you all of you for subscribing. And I honestly didn't know where this channel was going to go. Like I was saying, I'm not in any way, being in any way branded or partnered with a certain, a smart telescope brand, or like I said, not even ZWO, not even Seestar. So I'm bringing all of this to you guys. And if if you find this content valuable, like I always say, if you like this and if you want me to continue bringing you more content, your subscriptions, you hitting the subscribe button, which is free, and giving it a little thumbs up, a little like, turning on the bell notifications, all of that, just lets me know that more and more people and more of you that have joined the Astro Room community are interested and do want to see more videos and tutorials and how-tos and live streams and things like that. So, as we're all on this incredible journey together of looking at the cosmos, of looking at the universe. So, yeah, this is absolutely amazing. What I wanted to mention also is I feel like some people, I don't feel like it. I know some of the viewers of the Astro Room have mentioned or have wondered if they're going to get bored with the Seestar very easily. And someone had mentioned, like, should they get a more complex setup so they won't get too bored? They're worried that they're going to get bored with the Seestar. And, I'm not against traditional telescopes. You guys already know that. If you've been watching my videos, I'm all for regular traditional and computerized telescopes. And I also have those kind of telescopes. So, but I honestly don't think you could get bored. Perhaps what we're going to want when you have a smart telescope and this simple grab and go process, there's still a learning, first of all, there's still a learning curve to that. So if you get bored within the first few months, I'd be surprised because there's a bit of a learning curve. It's simple to use compared to other telescopes, but smart telescopes still have their, bit of a learning curve. I think even for people who are professionals, right? You just got to get the hang of it and things like that. But what I wanted to say is that I don't think that you can get bored even with what you think a smart telescope is, even if you think it's more simple, more or easier. And I say that because at least what keeps me always enthused and excited about this is that I like to personally learn about what I'm imaging. So, don't just like, oh, let me look at such and such nebula. Let me look at such and such galaxy, and okay, I'm done. I'm through with it. I've imaged it. I honestly try not to have that point of view. I try to have a bit of a more positive point of view in the sense that because I love learning about it. So try to, I would say, learn as much as you can of your night sky. Learn as much as you can also of the object that you're imaging, because that's what's going to, at least for me, that's what's going to blow your mind, right? When you read about the Sombrero galaxy, M104, how far is it from Earth? How many light years is it, right? Learn what light years means and learn, if you don't know those things yet, it's so fun to learn that and to really understand it because it's absolutely mind-blowing. And, learn what all these astronomical terms mean. Learn about the object. Learn about how many trillions of stars is estimated to be in there. When was it first discovered? What year? And that's when those kind of things kind of blow your mind. Learn how big it is. How big is the diameter? How big is the radius? If you've noticed some of my videos on here, as I'm imaging, I also go into other apps, or I'll go into the internet, we'll go into the NASA website, other websites, and I'll sit there and learn, about the object, because it's so fun. Even if I think I might already know, even if it's a very common object, such as Orion Nebula that you're looking at, or something you've imaged before, and you might think you know a lot about it, you'd be surprised. Sometimes you might learn something new, maybe from watching other people's images of it, or, digging into deep, reading a full article on what other astronomers have written about certain galaxies, and things like that. It just keeps the hobby entertaining. It keeps it fun for you. So, without a doubt, I recommend that. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining me on this ride. Thank you to all of you. Where are we? We are just at 8 minutes and 20 seconds. What else can we play with here? Saturation. Interesting. Looks like it's bringing out that color. That's interesting. I'm going to mess with it big time, see what it does. I know it's going to get, fuzzy, fuzzy. But it doesn't hurt to play with it and try to bring out a little bit of the colors, right? It's incredible, guys. And another thing, if you could start comparing this to more images of professional astrophotographers, it's actually really cool to see how the Seestar picks up the same colors that you'll see in images from the Hubble telescope, or from NASA, or from professional astrophotographers. It's pretty cool, really, what this device can do. Guys, I just can't stop looking at the center. I can't stop looking at the center of that. It's funny, like, it looks so well-rounded. I know that might sound silly, but it just looks so beautifully well-rounded. It looks, what I want to say is that it looks perfect. Doesn't it look like perfection? I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. But it's almost like, I know it's not the best imaging in the world. I'm not in dark skies. But really, as I'm looking at that center, which is absolutely massive, we're going to dig in. We're going to dig in all about the Sombrero galaxy. But as I'm looking at it, it really is, we're looking at this galaxy edge on, right? And you know why they call it the sombrero, right? Because of that look. It looks like a sombrero, or a hat. Perhaps it reminds people of a mariachi. A hat from Mexico that mariachi singers use. It kind of, you can kind of see that in there, in a way. Truly, truly incredible. But what I was going to mention is that it really is an absolutely perfect object. It looks amazing. I'm really blown away. I'm blown away by what we can see from our front yard or backyard with a tiny scope. Wow. Imagine the Seestar with an 80mm lens, 100. It's got to be in the works. We know it is. It has to be. ZW already says it. Imagine how exciting that's going to be. All right. All right. Zoom out a bit. Just gorgeous stuff. Just gorgeous. It really is exciting when it's like your first image. And I don't mean like this is my first, obviously this is not the first galaxy I've ever imaged, but it's exciting when it's the first time for a particular object. I have the same reaction every single time. I'm going to give you guys so many little tips and tricks with this video, so I hope you're sticking with me. Do you notice these stars that are back here? All these stars, all these novas, you could say supernovas practically. They're pretty decently well-rounded. I recommend, and I think I've said this already in another video, but just in case you've missed it, I want to go ahead and say it again. For you to get better rounded stars, make sure you autofocus before you start imaging. I have to admit, sometimes I'm so excited about imaging that I'm like, I skip the autofocus because it takes time, right? You might have to wait about a minute or so for it to do that, and then plus the image enhancing. But let it, as soon as you get it in preview mode, before you hit the red button, recording button, press on your autofocus. It's important because it will help you get rounder stars, as round as it can be. So, zoom there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's pretty fairly round. And I didn't use my Batnoff mask tonight. Perhaps if I would have used it, might have been a little bit better. Not sure how much better, perhaps, but yeah. Make sure you do your autofocus. Okay, let's dig in. Let's dig into Sombrero. I'm gonna get out of the Seestar. We're gonna go into my ever favorite app to dig into these objects, which is Sky Guide. Sombrero Galaxy. I love this. I love learning. So Sombrero appears to be in the Virgo constellation, but we will confirm. Just incredible, guys. Look at that. Spica is there. Beautiful, beautiful star there. And just like I was saying, one of the most unique, one of the most famous spiral galaxies, Messier 104, known as the Mexican hat, the sombrero, right? Because of its shape. This is what I'm telling you guys. I know the Seestar is not perfect. It's just not going to be with the lens, the focal length that it has, you know, what we have for now. However, is it just me, or is it incredible that we're looking at the Sombrero Galaxy with a tiny little telescope that has such a, what you could say, very affordable price for what you're getting, right? But look at this, the Seestar. I mean, we have that, right? Of course, this has been professionally imaged with a telescope, with a traditional telescope. And of course, it's been stacked. Of course, it's been processed. And I've seen some images of the Sombrero Galaxy with the Seestar taken and processed, and I'm blown away. So, you know, don't get discouraged and think, oh, I wish it could look like this. You know, you can with another telescope, right? But it can come, you know, I would say kind of close, or sort of getting there, I would say, when you do some nice processing, whether in serial or PixInsight, you know, with any deep space object that you're looking at. But here we go. So it's located at the constellation, towards the constellation of Virgo. And this is what I was saying that just blows your mind. 30 million light years away. And if you think that each light year is 6 trillion miles, we can't really fathom that, right? We really can't. When are we going to get there? When are we getting to that galaxy? We can't even get to Andromeda in who knows how long. We need a teleport machine. We need a time-traveling machine. But think about how far that is. Here we go. And when was it discovered? The 104th object in the catalog by Charles Messier. Okay, so it must have been discovered sometime around late 1700s is what I'm assuming. And this is what will blow your mind. So this galaxy, luminous, right? Because we see the center, luminous mass, excuse me, luminous and massive galaxy has a total mass of 800 billion suns. It's dominant, it's that nuclear bulge. It's notable for that bulge, which is what we were talking about earlier, right at the center. Nearly edge on disk composed of stars, gas, dust, complexity. Incredible. And this is what I'm saying earlier with the supermassive black hole in the center. This galaxy appears to be a host of a supermassive black hole about 1 billion solar masses. One of the most massive black holes measured in a nearby galaxy, 250 times larger than the black hole in the Milky Way, Sagittarius A. Mind-blowing. This is interesting. Despite the black hole in the center, the galaxy is rather quiet, implying that the black hole is on a stringent diet. Okay, so maybe it's not to be eating up many other stars or anything in there. That is incredible. That is interesting. So these are the kind of things that you need to think about while you're imaging, because it don't take for granted is what I mean, what you're looking at, and not everyone is out there imaging this kind of stuff at night. There are millions of people on the planet, I should probably say billions, that have never in their life seen a galaxy through a telescope or on any kind of telescope, have never even seen through the eyepiece of any telescope, not even looked at the moon through an eyepiece, So be joyful, be excited that we can enjoy this kind of stuff, and put it out there for your friends, for your family. Let them know what's up there in space and that this journey is never ending. It really is. There's not enough to look at in a regular human lifespan, So how could you get bored? How could you ever get bored of this hobby? You can't. Guys, let's go back. Let's go back. I'm reading all the other stuff. Apparent magnitude. Oh, one of the reasons why I also chose to do this galaxy is because exactly the magnitude. It's a 8.0. It's one of the top 10 brightest galaxies to image. So, you got Andromeda, Triangulum, several other galaxies on there. Bode's galaxy. It's a very, very bright object, easy object, an easy go-to, and one of the most beautiful, eye-catching, brightest objects for galaxies in the top 10 that you can image. So I recommend it. I recommend it. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here and go back to the Seestar. We're going to go into stargazing. Let's see how it's doing. We're at 17 minutes. I am imaging this at 10 p.m. right now. It's 10 p.m. now, my time. Since I started around, I want to say maybe 9:30-ish or 9:15. Maybe around there. I'm curious what would happen if I did like 10-second, 20-second or 30-second stacking. But I've noticed that I don't have much luck with that, so to speak. I prefer to do 10 seconds. When I start doing 20 or 30, I have a video about that actually, about stacking. 10, 20, or 30, which one is better? And the comparisons that I've made. For me, 10 seconds is better right? In the advanced features, you can choose your seconds of stacking. And it's better because I don't get as many failed images. You know, the pop-up that comes up that it failed to stack. If I start using 20 or 30, I notice that I'm more likely to have failed images, and it doesn't move past sometimes 2 or 3 minutes of stacking, or it's just extremely slow. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if it depends on my skies, right? I'm in very light polluted skies. Maybe it's better in darker skies. I haven't tried it. That's a goal though. That's for another video. Traveling to darker skies. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. If you stayed with me till this long of this video, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed and you're new, hit the subscribe button for me. Guys, you see how, I want to show you guys something. You see how I can flip my image? I can't do that with the homepage of the Seestar. I wish I could. Something really neat that I want to show you though, that I just realized recently. I used to wonder if when I turn it a certain direction, like vertical or portrait mode, landscape, like your actual tablet, if the differences in moving that around would cut off objects, would cut off any of the objects on my Seestar. But it doesn't reduce or compromise or take off any objects. So check it out. You see these three right here, and you see how it's kind of on the edge. If I flip it, it's the exact same thing, which is really neat, which is really, really cool. Let me move that. At 25 minutes, I'm going to take pictures of this so I can save it to my folder. We're going to let it stack. Keep stacking. I'm going to step out now while I let it do its thing. Let's go for it. Let's let it keep stacking. We're at almost 30 minutes.